Ladies and gentlemen, the American German Bulldog Nation, I did a Facebook Live about good old Hunter Biden's pardon. I'll sum it up as follows. One, I called this a long time ago. No matter what Joe Biden ever said, I knew he was going to do this after he won re-election or when he was going to go out of office. So this isn't a shocker at all. And, of course, Hunter Biden says he's going to take advantage of the clemency and not get on the wrong track. You think? And the pardon goes all the way back to 2014. Significance? Guess when he joined Hunter, the Burisma board? Then, 2014. So good old Joe Biden, he doesn't care about the Democratic Party. He doesn't care about Kamala. He doesn't care about anything. He's just caring about his family right now as he goes out the door. It's one big middle finger to everybody. Remember, Gerald Ford pardoned Richard Nixon because the betterment for our country. Nothing personal. This is a personal pardon, which is not good for our country. The pardon of Richard Nixon hurt the Republican Party. The pardon of Hunter Biden is going to hurt the Democratic Party. Plain and simple. Mark Zuckerberg went down to Mar-a-Lago before Thanksgiving. Loomer was very upset about it. Other people upset about it. I'm sure Trump played hardball with him, but he was polite. But I just think about this. Zuckerberg deplatformed Trump. Let him back on. I'm hoping Trump says, if you want a relationship with me and my administration, you have to stop all the algorithm blocks that you're doing, including to me, to all of us. Trudeau, he went down to Mar-a-Lago for Thanksgiving. It's amazing what strength does. And you know what's amazing is the whole time Joe Biden acted like he's going to bring America back. The opposite happened. America became so weak under Joe Biden. What does it mean that when Trudeau goes to Mar-a-Lago before Trump even takes office? And you know why he does it? He knows Trump will make a deal. They'll make a deal. They'll do that Stephen Covey win-win. It's a beautiful thing. The Epps lawsuit against Fox for defamation, this is the guy that everybody knows is working with the FBI on January 6th, lawsuit dismissed. And now the internal polls of Harris are saying Harris was never leading this race. What did I tell you? I'm a prophet. I know my stuff. I told you that Trump's internal polls were obviously showing he was kicking ass. And that means Kamala Harris' internal polls were showing that she was losing. Now they admit it. Sheriff Chad Croneister from Florida is Trump's new appointment to lead up the DEA. Old Putin had a big leg shake going when he was out there speaking over the weekend. We got a video to show you. I don't know if Putin's okay or not. Bill Clinton says he was so upset when Hillary lost, he was mad and angry, hardly got out of bed for 2 years. Rogan says Zelensky wanted an interview on his platform, and he said, nah, baby, nah. By the way, apparently there is going to be an interview on the X platform with somebody with Zelensky. Pete Hegseth's mom, the New York Times published it, sent an email to Pete Hegseth, a personal email, about his mistreatment of women back when he was getting divorced a long time ago. The New York Times ran with it. The mother said it was taken out of context, loves her son, blah, 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 blah. You know what? That's what always happens in these family things, right? Some of the stuff, you air it out, you get over it, you move on, you love each other. Sometimes not. There was a big Trump flash mob in New York City doing the Trump dance. Charles Kushner, Jared's father, has been appointed the ambassador to France by Trump. Trump tariffs. You know, Trump's throwing 100% tariffs, 200%, all around all these people. Negotiations have begun. It just goes to show you, Barack Obama apologized for America. He never used the power of America for making deals. Same with Joe Biden. The most powerful cards that anyone could ever hold. It's not Elon Musk. It's not Jeff Bezos. It's the power of the presidency of the United States. You are always negotiating from strength if you are the president of the United States. And when people don't use that power to negotiate, they're stupid and bad things happen to all of us. Carville, this is great. Jim Carville says there ought to be an audit of the Democratic Party to find out where all that money went. Folks, somebody will check it out. It's going to be obscene how many political consultants, what they got paid. We got a video for you.
One word, audit. So I have people that are contacting me to run for DNC chair. Promise you I'm not going to get in the middle of that. But anybody, and I don't have a vote, or I don't have an opinion, no one cares, but I would say the policy number one is we're going to audit everything. We're going to audit the campaign. We're going to audit Future Forward. We're going to audit the DNC. So people can know. But I'm telling you, without complete transparency, the campaign, we think, raised $1.5 billion. Okay. We know that Future Forward, the last we saw was $900 million, so we can assume that they got to $1 billion before election. That's $2.5 freaking billion. Do you have any idea where that money went?
Illegals have been given housing and $350 a week in groceries. Why not other Americans? This is the insanity of the Biden administration, and it's going to boomerang and bushwhack them like that. Arnold, I swatted the bulldog. Somebody called the SWAT team on my house over the weekend. Arnold's okay. It was a prank. The Democrats have now started to admit how bad they are. They're saying we have to start all over. Woke didn't work, on and on and on. It's amazing. The confessions that happen now, I called that too. Mossad Bolas, who is the father-in-law of Tiffany Trump, is going to be the Arab affairs envoy for Trump. And guess what a lot of these woke Karens did? They got together on a beach and did a primal scream. It's insane what these people are. Russia, and people wonder why some people like Putin. Some Americans like Putin because of how he treats Christians and Catholics. And he forbids adoption now to the LBGT community, countries that adopt that woke stuff, transgender, transitioning, and everything else. So that's why a lot of people in America Putin's aligned with us on some of these, even though he's a brute. Jimmy Patronis is Trump's selection to succeed Matt Gaetz in Congress out of Florida. And the Biden administration wants to give $6.6 billion to a Tesla rival. That's sickening. Again, Joe Biden is so political gangster right now, he's even going to get worse. He don't give a damn. Do not be an incestuous, full-born popinjay. Be an oracle. Coming up next, local news. Here we go with local news. Bob Gable. I knew Bob Gable well when I was a young man in the Kenton County Republican chairmanship and the 4th Congressional chairmanship. Bob Gable was the state party chairman back in the late 1980s. He was a very, how should I say this? He was a very polite man. He was very wealthy, and he was a gentleman. He was very polite. I ended up being on the side of Larry Forgy, and Larry Forgy got on the opposite side of Bob Gable on a few issues. But Bob Gable was a good guy, but he recently passed away at 90 years old. Bronson Ororo apparently is in The Masked Singer. Get it up, Bronson. I like Bronson. This is wild. Brian Tucker has been arrested for making threats to kill Rob Sanders at Planet Fitness, the same Planet Fitness me and the Brit go to. He said he was going to go up and stab him. Crazy stuff. He also was going to threaten the life of Judge Kathy Lape because there were charges filed against him that went to trial in Judge Lape's court, with the prosecutor being Rob Sanders. Downtown Independence is now an historic district available for tax credits. Maybe I should request some. That's where the office is. And the bridge repairing has begun. It'll probably, it said till March. You know what? This is another example how government screws up an anvil. All that they've done, all that they're going to do is going to be a nightmare. Coming up next, Jamie Spindley and his World News.
Hello, let's get going. Let's see what's going on around the world today. The latest world headlines. At least 54 people have died after a boat carrying over 200 passengers capsized in Nigeria's river Niger. Rescuers have saved 24 people, some of who remain hospitalized, whilst many others are still missing. Divers are continuing their search, but hopes of finding more survivors are fading. Severe flooding caused by heavy rain has killed at least 12 people in Malaysia and southern Thailand. Over 122,000 people in northern Malaysia and 13,000 in Thailand have been displaced. Officials fear the numbers may rise as storms and rains still continue. In other news, this is terrible. Ashley Paul Griffith, a 47-year-old former childcare worker in Australia, has been sentenced to life in prison for sexually abusing nearly 70 girls. Griffin admitted to 307 crimes committed between 2003 and 2022, targeting children aged 1 to 7 at the childcare centre in Queensland and overseas. And the Colombian Navy seized a semi-submarine loaded with cocaine in the Pacific Ocean, believed to be part of a new smuggling route to Australia. The vessel was equipped with fuel for a long journey and maps confirmed its intended destination. Hundreds of arrests have been made as part of the border operation. You're up to date on the world news. Coming up next, Sports Without Boundaries. See ya.
All right, Sports Without Boundaries. We got a lot of sports to report, a lot of local sports to report. The Steelers beat the Bengals 44-38. Turnovers. Our defense sucks. Logan Wilson was out. That's not an excuse. It's just the Steelers have our number, just like Michigan has Ohio State's number. It's sad. Moeller is headed to the state championship. So is Beechwood. Cooper beat Highlands, headed to the state championship. Ryle headed to the state championship. And Covington Catholic lost a heartbreaker 14-10. Sad in the semifinals, and they will not be going. Michigan beat Ohio State 13-10. Shocker. Randy Moss says he's asking for prayers. It sounds to me he either has colon cancer or prostate cancer. Trevor Lawrence got knocked out of the game. If you watch this video, it is scary. What a hit that he took. He says he's home and okay. The linebacker got kicked out of the game. He probably ought to be suspended. You can't make this up. In the middle of University of Kentucky losing to Louisville, one of their linemen, his name's Muncie, actually went to the concession stand during the game while the game was going on. That says a lot about Stoops' program right now. TCU 20, UC 13. They lose again. University of Kentucky basketball 105 over Georgia State 76. NKU 86 over Bellarmine 70. The Bears fired their head coach Eberflus, and the Chiefs-Raiders game was wild. You can't make it up. The Raiders blow it. These coaches get paid all this freaking money. Instead of kicking the field goal, you run another play, and then you screw up the play with a bad – I mean, it's unbelievable. If I was a general manager or I was an owner of these teams, I would never tolerate what you pay these players, what you pay these coaches, and the boneheaded things that they do. Last but not least, Easton Autry, a high school baseball player who's committed to the University of Texas, hit a 544 home run in Texas Stadium, the longest home run ever hit there. Is that nuts? High schooler. Coming up next, pop culture. Ladies and gentlemen, American German Bulldog Nation, here we go with pop culture. Helen DeGeneres, who's leaving America, well, her mansion back home flooded. Got a video for you.
Montecito is under complete evacuation, the entire town. This is crazy.
Denmark is the first country to pass a cow fart tax. This is outrageous. What if you refuse to pay the tax? Are they going to tax you based upon a fart decibel? How do they measure it? How do they know they're farting? How many farts do you get away with before you get taxed? A lot of questions. Gladiator 2, I did a graphic about this. It's better than Gladiator 1. It is, because the pace is nonstop. Great plot, great acting. It's not woke. It's about freedom. It's a great story, great ending. I loved it. Australia, social media. You cannot get on social media until you're 16 years of age. I like that rule. Eddie Murphy's son and Martin Lawrence's daughter are going to get married. That's going to be one funny-ass baby. Diddy's bail was denied for the third time. Peanut the Squirrel's parents are suing New York. You go get them. And the oldest man in the world from England, Jamie Spindley, John Tenniswood, not Peckerwood, John Tenniswood passed away at 112 years old. Do you know if I live to be 112 years old, I got 53 more years left? That's wild to think about. You never know. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope you have a great day.